Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Jai Hind, and welcome to Khan Global Studies. I hope I am properly audible and visual to all of you. Good evening, everyone, and I welcome you all to this session. I hope I am properly audible and visual. So here we are on this 2nd of Feb, and I think all of those who are preparing for 2026, now that time is becoming closer and closer. That time for your 26th exam, 26th prelims exam is coming closer and closer. We don't have any update about the UPSC form as of now. Once it is announced, then I will let you know. Okay. But even if it is slightly delayed, it will be conducted. Okay. तो सैटरडे और संडे को क्लासेस क्यों नहीं थे? देखो, सैटरडे एंड संडे देयर आर क्लासेस इन अदर बैचेज एट द सेम टाइम, so that's why that is one of the reason. Second thing, Saturday and Sunday you will find that in newspapers we are not having that much comprehensive news articles. So generally we are having like 5 day session, और बचे हुए जो 2 दिन है उसमें आप रिवाइज कर सकते हो. You can also go through the magazines. तो अगर आप 5 days per week भी सेशंस ले रहे हो, in a month you are having 80 topics, 80 to 100 topics, and that will be more than sufficient for you. तो आपको मंथ में अगर 100 टॉपिक भी हो जा रहे हैं तो it is more than sufficient. So that's why we are generally not having classes on Saturday Sunday. कि एक तो आप रिवाइज करो, न्यूज़पेपर में वैसे ही कम चीजें होती है. हाँ, तो not just for 2026, even for 2027, now the weeks are passing by, the month is passing by, so even the count for 2027 has started. तो कितना भी रिवाइज कर लो, सिली सिली मिस्टेक्स हो जा रही हैं टेस्ट सीरीज में. तो अगेन दैट इज अबाउट प्रैक्टिस. यू नो दैट यू हैव रेड इट, यू नो दैट यू हैव टू रिवाइज इट. तो सिली मिस्टेक्स को अवॉइड करने के लिए ही टेस्ट सीरीज सॉल्व करना होता है. तो सॉल्व एज मेनी एज यू कैन. सर व्हाई डू यूज यूट्यूब इंस्टेड ऑफ केजेस प्लेटफॉर्म? दिस इज ऑल्सो केजेस प्लेटफॉर्म. आदित्य, दिस इज ऑल्सो केजेस प्लेटफॉर्म. दिस इज द चैनल ऑफ यूट्यूब केजेस ओनली. Just the platform is of YouTube, but otherwise it is Aegis platform only. Just the supporting team is from YouTube, है ना? पेपर लेंदी था, बायोटेक का टाइम कम था. In UPSC mains exam also people say the same thing. That sir, paper was a bit lengthy. In UPSC mains exam also people say the same thing. So it's not new. So see, the topics which we are going to discuss in today's session, क्या topic होगा? The first topic which we are going to see is about the Finance Commission recommendation. This is the most important topic of the day. एक ऐसा topic है जो अगले 2 से 3 साल तक आपको लगातार यूज करना होगा. So this is the Finance Commission recommendation. We are seeing just a part of it, not the entire thing. अभी जितना न्यूज़पेपर्स में आया है या गवर्नमेंट ने जो अपने एक 14 पेजेस की डॉक्यूमेंट रिलीज की है, इन दैट पोर्शन व्हाटएवर हैज बीन गिवन वी आर ट्राइंग टू सम अप दैट. सेकंड पार्ट, टैक्स हॉलिडे फॉर डेटा सेंटर्स. थर्ड पार्ट, बायोफार्मा शक्ति. फोर्थ पार्ट, बीबीजी राम फ्रॉम पॉलिटी एंड सम अदर इंपॉर्टेंट अपडेट्स. तो बजट सेशन इज गोइंग टू बी कंडक्टेड सेपरेटली. बजट सेशन जो है वो सेपरेटली कंडक्ट होगा, तो यू कैन वॉच दैट. बजट सेशन आज भी है एंड इकोनॉमिक सर्वे का एक ऑलरेडी वीडियो डाला जा चुका है. तो दैट इज बीइंग कंडक्टेड सेपरेटली. हाँ, बजट में जो जो इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम्स या जो इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स हैं वी विल ट्राई टू रीड देम वन बाय वन. इकोनॉमिक सर्वे का एक पार्ट ऑलरेडी हो चुका है. हाँ, जो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक है वी विल बी एडिंग देम इन दिस वीक. एक साथ पूरा नहीं हो सकता, बट एक एक करके हम लोग उसको ऐड करते जाएंगे. नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दिस सम आर्टिकल्स जो आज भी हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं. दैट इज रिलेटेड टू बजट समवट, बट इन अ डिफरेंट मैनर. हम उसको अब कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव तरीके से कवर करेंगे. तो आज के न्यूज़पेपर्स में जो भी चीजें थी, व्हाटएवर वेयर देयर इन द न्यूज़पेपर टुडे, वी विल ऐड इट सेपरेटली. ऑन इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में भी जो भी स्पेशल पार्ट बचे हुए थे सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक, वी विल ऐड देम सेपरेटली. कब होगा? आई थिंक इन टुडे इवनिंग और मे बी टुमारो, तब तक हो जाएगा. So consider the following. ozone, sulfur dioxide, peroxyacetyl nitrate. How many of the above are directly released in atmosphere due to burning of biomass? How many of them are directly released in atmosphere due to burning of biomass? Ozone, sulfur dioxide, peroxyacetyl nitrate. A option. So I think you all are aware about this. Yes, Sanjana, that will be there separately. That will be there separately. So ozone, sulfur dioxide, peroxyacetyl nitrate. You know that these two are secondary pollutant. Sulfur dioxide is one such thing which is directly released in atmosphere due to burning of biomass. So that's why here the correct answer will be option number A, that is only one. Which of the following statements are correct? Sorry, consider the following statement. नीचे question है, how many? US has emerged as the top source of FDI in India in recent times. India's export to Russia has increased by almost 10 times in last 5 years. India has trade deficit with Europe and US. Nahi Ahmed Mansoori. See, we are generally having current affair classes from Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. In month, total we are having 20 classes in which we are covering around 100 topics, which is more than sufficient for your exam. A option. A option, D option, A option, B option. Chalo, multiple answers are there. US has emerged as the top source of FDI in India in recent times. No, still we have Mauritius and Singapore. India's export to Russia has increased by almost 10 times in last 5 years. This is also incorrect. India's trade with Russia five years 30 to 40% growth. There is voice is not there. I hope you are getting the voice. India's export to Russia has increased by almost 10 times in last 5 years. This one statement is incorrect. Our trade has increased, but our export and other things have not increased that much. Third is, India has trade deficit with Europe and US. That is incorrect. India enjoys trade surplus with Europe also. India enjoys trade surplus with US also. So this third option is incorrect. Second is incorrect. First is incorrect. Answer is option number D. Now coming to other part. Consider the following statement regarding Commission for Air Quality Management System. It is a statutory body under the provisions of Environment Protection Act 1986. It undertakes action for the prevention and control of pollution in Delhi NCR and adjoining areas. So here we have the third question. Second option को define कर दीजिए. See, in the second option, Shankar, it was written that India is having export. India's export to Russia has increased by almost 10 times in the last 5 years. See, basically, our trade has improved. And why the trade has improved? Trade has almost gone by 8-9%, sorry, 8 to 9 times or 10 times also you can say. But what we see that our export has not been growing. It is our import from Russia that has been growing. Our import has been growing. Our export has remained almost same, a marginal increase per year. A option, B option, C option. If we look at this, it is a statutory body under provisions of Environment Protection Act. That is incorrect. It is not under Environment Protection Act. It is something which has been set up under the Act of 2021, which is related to Commission for Air Quality Management Act 2021. So this part is incorrect. It undertake actions for prevention and control of pollution in Delhi NCR and adjoining areas. That is correct. So here the answer is option number B, that is 2 only. देखो, or on a weekly basis, weekly basis, the topics which we are seeing, is around 20 to 25. Questions which we are solving is around 15. This is on weekly basis. So if you look at this on monthly basis, it becomes near about 80 to 100 topics, and the number of MCQs which we are having is around 60. On yearly basis, if you look at this, we have got near about 800 to 1000 topics. Many of them will be repeated, and the number of questions will be around 720. Okay, so this is one part. That if you look at this, we are doing a consistent effort. We are taking a consistent effort, and we are trying to solve the those questions which are really important for examination. So that's why we are having a limited number of questions also, limited number of topic also. Okay. This, I don't know anything about this part, that how to have beard like me. Second question is, why doesn't it act on other areas except Delhi NCR? Hey, there are other state pollution control boards and central pollution control boards which are for the rest of the country. But since Delhi NCR is suffering from more pollution related challenges, so a special body was created just for this area. For the entire country, we already have the Central Pollution Control Board and State Pollution Control Board. They are already there. But then the second part in Delhi NCR region, we have more and more pollution. So that's why this one thing. Yeah. Now coming to the topics. That is related to Finance Commission. The 16th Finance Commission, it has given its recommendation. So see, there is also one part, many of you who are trying to make notes, or if you are trying to how to prepare the notes for 2027 or even for 26. See how you have to do this. Like suppose this is one topic, tax devolution for states at 41%, South gets share hike. How do we do this? First, we see this one thing. What is Finance Commission? Basically, Finance Commission of India is a constitutional body which has been set up under Article 280. This is a constitutional body which has been set up under the provisions of the Constitution under Article 280. What we look at this is one thing which is set up by the President generally after 5 years. It is not a permanent body. This is something which is set up after every 5 years by the President of India. Okay, generally for a tenure of 2 years, 18 months, 2 years, some months, generally this is the tenure. What we see, it gives recommendation of fund sharing between union and a state and among states. That how the fund will be shared, how the tax collected by the governments will be shared between the union and the state and among the states, how it is going to be shared. Then at the same time, it also recommends devolution or grants to the local bodies. That how the local bodies are going to get the fund, what amount is going to be provided to them. It is also being done by the Finance Commission. Plus, at the same time, it is considered as a quasi-judicial body. Dekho, this is the significant part. Now, if you look at the Finance Commission, can you tell me why we would consider this as a quasi-judicial body? Many of you have read polity. Can you tell me why do we consider it as a quasi-judicial body? Can you tell me this part? Why do we consider it as a quasi-judicial body? Why? Why this is called as a quasi-judicial body? जिन्होंने भी पॉलिटी पढ़ा हुआ है बताओ. Why do we consider this Finance Commission as a quasi-judicial body? क्यों समझते हैं इसको quasi-judicial? Why do we consider it as quasi-judicial body? Tell me about this. Why do we consider quasi-judicial body Finance Commission? कोई जुडिशियल रोल होगा? Members are appointed here. Conflict works is to reduce. No. See, the factor, why do we call it? See, it has the power like a court to summon someone to get evidence with respect to tax matter. This Finance Commission has the power to call the different state agencies or different union agencies. It can summon them to give them this knowledge, to give them this evidence about the tax collection and everything. It can ask for transparency in the reports with respect to tax collection, with respect to the tax sharing and everything. So when Finance Commission has to make a recommendation, it needs to have a clear-cut evidence. So it is not giving any such judgment or such thing. What it can do, it can seek document. It can seek document or evidence. This is something which can seek document or evidence. It is having power to summon someone. It can summon officials. It can summon officials. It can give a summon to them. It can give a notice to them to be present before them and to give them the actual evidence and everything with respect to this, like tax collection, tax sharing and everything, fund devolution. So it is like one. Okay. So it is not a court, but since it is having these power, that's why it is called as a quasi-judicial body. It is called as a quasi-judicial body for this region. Now, how many this Finance Commission have been constituted so far? This was the 16th. The present one is the 16th Finance Commission. It was constituted on this December 30, 2023. Okay. Now, what we see, it has been headed by Dr. Arvind Pangaria, who is the former Vice Chairman of Niti Aayog. And it has already submitted its report to the President of India on November 17, 2025. It has already given its report, it has already given its recommendation to the President on 17th of November 2025. Okay. Now, tell me one thing. The recommendation, tell me one more thing here. If we talk about the recommendation, is it binding? This is one part. Is it binding on the union government or not? The recommendation which is given by the Finance Commission, is it binding on the union government or not? Yes. So, it is not binding. This is not binding. Remember one part, this is not binding. Okay. So, remember this one thing. Is it binding? The answer is no. This is not binding. It is not binding on the central government or the Indian government. Okay. What we see, what is the recommendation date? It will be applicable from 26-27 to 2030-31. For a 5-year period, this is going to be valid from financial year 2026 to financial year 2030. It is going to be applicable. So for a full 5-year term, this is going to be applicable. What we see, it will be having, it has given its recommendation. How much fund will be provided to the, states? The part is, it is going to be 41% of the net proceeds. It is same as 15th Finance Commission. So there is no change. There is no change. It is same as the 15th Finance Commission in that manner. Okay. And the same time, the 14th has given 42%. So 14th Finance Commission ने 42% recommend किया था. Now, this is something which has been accepted by the government. This is something which has been accepted by the government. It has also said no to sector specific or state specific grants. It has also said that the union should not be making any sector specific or state specific grants. Okay. Then third part, no revenue deficit grants to states. No revenue deficit grants to states. Okay. So there will be no such grant which will create a revenue deficit on the union government. There will be no such grant to the state which can create a revenue deficit. That is one part. It has said the urban share of local government grant to 45%. Means earlier the urban local bodies were getting 36%. The grants which are given to the local bodies, in that earlier the urban local bodies were getting just 36%. Now it has increased up to 45%. So still the rural sector is getting something around 55% of the total grant given to local bodies. So rural areas or the rural local bodies are still receiving 55%, but now their share is decreasing. Earlier the share of rural local bodies was 64%. Now it has come down to 55%. For the urban local bodies, now the grants have been increased. Now the grants for the urban local bodies have been increased up to 45%. Okay. So देखो, there is also one part. Finance Commission has given multiple things. Okay. No, statutory grants will continue. Sector specific grants and others will not be there. Okay. Why rural grants decrease? It has given recommendation because it's a thing that the urban local bodies need more and more investment. They need more. और देखो अभी फाइनेंस कमीशन की जो एक्चुअल रिपोर्ट है इट हैज नॉट बीन गिवन इन पब्लिक फोरम. अभी जो प्रोवाइड किया गया है वो सिर्फ उतना ही है कि एक 14 पेजेस का डॉक्यूमेंट रिलीज किया गया है. तो जस्ट द रिकमेंडेशंस हैव बीन मेड पब्लिक. व्हाट इज द लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट हैज नॉट बीन प्रोवाइडेड येट. टिल नाउ द गवर्नमेंट हैज रिलीज्ड ओनली अ 14 पेज डॉक्यूमेंट. तो अभी ज्यादा क्लैरिटी बाकी चीजों पे नहीं है, इसलिए वी आर डिस्कसिंग ओनली सम पार्ट ऑफ इट. इट हैज इवन गिवन अ डिवोल्यूशन लाइक प्रोसीड ऑल्सो कि हाउ मच विल बी गिवन. तो अभी जब तक वो पूरा नहीं आएगा वी विल नॉट बी गिविंग दैट टेबल ऑल्सो. हालांकि सम पार्ट्स हैव बीन टोल्ड, सम पार्ट्स आर देन मीडिया कि हाउ मच शेयर विल बी फॉर पॉपुलेशन, हाउ मच शेयर विल बी फॉर परफॉर्मेंस, हाउ मच शेयर विल बी फॉर जीडीपी. So some portions have been given, but the entire table has not been I have not seen that as of now. Okay. क्योंकि अभी सर्च करने पे सिर्फ 14 पेजेस का डॉक्यूमेंट आ रहा है. Okay. So that is one of the challenge. Then it has said that state fiscal deficit, it should be 3% of GSDP. It should be 3% of this gross state domestic product. Union fiscal deficit 3.5%. It has been kept. Like what should be the deficit? अभी हम लोगों ने लास्ट टाइम पढ़ा था कि यूनियन फिस्कल डेफिसिट इज नियर अबाउट 4.8%. Union fiscal deficit was near about 4.8%. So there is a direction to the union government that by the end of this 5 years, your fiscal deficit should come down to 3.5% of GDP. Then discontinuation of off-budget borrowings by state. So states cannot borrow anything else. Okay. अच्छा you have got, नहीं तो अभी मुझे नहीं मिला है तो इसलिए I have not seen it. That's why I have not given you the table. Okay. So what we see, if we look at this, the complete discontinuation of off-budget borrowings by state, when the state will not be getting this off-budget taking the off-budget borrowings, means they cannot take loan without mentioning it in the budget. If they have to take a loan, they have to mention it in the budget. Without mentioning it as part of their budget, they cannot take loans. Many of the state governments do this. They don't show the loan as part of their fiscal deficit. they bring it in some other name. It is called as off budget borrowing. So it has been discouraged that there will not be any such off budget borrowing. तो ये some कुछ parts है कि what has been recommended as part of this finance commission recommendation. Okay. So finance commission ने अभी just we are seeing just one part of it. Later on we will add more portions on it, that how it differs from 14th finance commission, 15th, 16th. So we will see more comparison of it. We will see more comparison of it in upcoming times. Okay. Now coming to the second part. Coming to the second news article, that is tax holiday for data center. So can you tell me what is the meaning of tax holiday? What is the meaning of tax holiday? What is the meaning of this tax holiday? Tax department will be going on holiday. Roshni, the English classes are from 5 to 6 and the Hindi classes from 6 to 7. Tax free. Tax holiday means basically that for that period of time, the tax will not be applicable. But for a particular period of time, a tax will not be applicable for them, tax free. So there is going to be a tax holiday till 2020, till 2047. Okay. So this is one thing. Now, like there is this one part that for data centers, there is going to be a tax holiday as announced by the government. So first of all, what we have to see, how we prepare the notes. पहले हम ये देखेंगे कि what is data center. First thing which we are trying to see, that what actually is a data center. So data center is basically a physical room, building or facility that houses IT infrastructure for building, running and delivering applications and services. So basically data center will be an area, will be a building in which multiple IT infrastructure would be present there. Multiple computer servers, multiple devices which will be present there. They will be storing and processing huge amount of data. They will be storing and processing huge amount of data. They will be providing applications as a service from there. Application on cloud will be provided by them or are provided by them. So data centers are basically physical infrastructures which provide the data services. The data services can be in form of simple a Google Drive storage which all of you are using, or some applications which you run online. कई बार कुछ applications होता है जिसको आप online play करते हो. For example, you may have seen that many a times you are going to a website और उस वेबसाइट पे आप जाके वीडियो प्ले करते हो या गेम प्ले करते हो और यू आर डूइंग एनी अदर टास्क, जैसे आप वर्ड को पीडीएफ में या पीडीएफ टू वर्ड में कन्वर्ट करते हो. तो यू आर यूजिंग अ टूल और अ एप्लीकेशन देयर ऑन अ वेबसाइट. You don't own the application, but you make use of it. So that is called as application as a service. So here what we see that these data centers are facilitating them. It stores and manages the data associated with those applications and services. It is maintaining those data. It is the storage house of that data. So that is as simple as that. What is data center? Now the question is, how much data centers are there in India? What is the status there? Okay. What is the status there? See, India accounts for just 3% of data centers across the world. This is as per the economic survey. As per the economic survey, we are only having 3% of data centers across the world. And 70% of them are located in high income countries. So as per World Bank as per World Bank, 70% of data centers are located in high income countries. India is having only 3% of data centers of the world. Think about this. We have the 20% users. We have the 20% users and just 3% data centers. So we are accountable for 20% of the content or the data, and still we just have a 3% data center. So our capacity is very much limited right now in the present times. Okay. Now see here. So by 2026, India's total data capacity center is projected to surpass 2 gigawatt. Okay. So right now it is around 1.2 gigawatt. In future, it might become 2 gigawatt. And by 2030, it may become 8 gigawatt. So we see that our capacity is quite limited. The global capacity is roughly around 103 gigawatt. The global capacity is very much high, whereas Indian capacity is quite on the lower side. So our capacity is quite limited, and what we aim, like it has been said that by 2030, this will be a 200 gigawatt data centers across the world. We want to have share of it. We want to have a participation in that. And for this very purpose, the government has announced in the budget that there will be a tax holiday for any foreign company which is investing in data centers in India. Terms and conditions apply. What are those terms and conditions? A very important terms and conditions has been provided. See, this tax holiday, when we look at this tax holiday, this is something which is for foreign companies, that any foreign companies who are investing in data company, any foreign company who are investing in data company in India, they are going to get a tax holiday till 2047. Now the question is this, what is the terms and condition? The terms and condition is they have to do it via a Indian company. They cannot do it directly. They have to provide these services by a Indian company, So they have to provide these services via a Indian company. They cannot operate or they cannot own the infrastructure. That infrastructure and its operation is to be done by an Indian reseller entity or their Indian partner. So Indian partner will be doing the task. They will be the investor. So it's basically encouraging foreign direct investment. It is basically foreign direct investment in data centers in India. So this is what we try to do. We are like, one of the condition is they will have to do through this Indian reseller entity. If a services is being provided to an Indian user, it has to be done by an Indian reseller entity, and the foreign company must not own or operate any of the physical infrastructure or any resources of a specified data center in order to qualify for the tax break. So they will be getting the tax holiday, but a term and condition has been applied. They will not be owning it. They will not be operating it. They will do it via an Indian company. So on one hand, we are getting investment. On the other hand, we are also empowering the Indian corporates, the Indian companies. Okay. So there is an aim. We want to increase the capacity of our data centers, and that's why the government has announced a tax break, a tax holiday for establishing data centers in India. Okay. So I hope that is clear. There is a question that is there any computer data center in our country? No, Nishant, I'm not aware about it. That do we have any specific quantum computer data center? We do have data centers, but it is not specified that do we have anything for quantum. Do we have a quantum computer? It is under development, not a full-fledged. Now coming to the third part, for biopharma. So there is a new initiative here also. There is a new initiative here also. The name of the initiative is Biopharma Shakti. The name of the initiative is Biopharma Shakti. And here the meaning of Shakti is strategy for healthcare advancement through knowledge, technology, and innovation. A strategy for healthcare advancement. Strategy for healthcare advancement through knowledge, technology, and innovation. That is a mission now, Biopharma Shakti. It has an outlay of 10,000 crore rupees over the next 5 years. So there is a budget of 10,000 crore rupees over the next 5 years. And what is the aim? The aim is to simply provide for the ecosystem for development of two things. One is called as biologics and another is called as biosimilars. So for this year prelims exam, you can expect a question on this, that what is biologics and what is biosimilars. So can you tell me what is the difference between this biologics versus the biosimilars? What is the difference between this biologics and biosimilars? दोनों में अंतर क्या है? Any idea about this? What is biologics and what is biosimilar? It is good idea. No idea. See, basically, here we see use of living organism. Use of living organism. Okay. For gene therapy or medicine, making proteins. Okay. So when we are using the organisms for gene therapy, medicines, monoclonal antibodies, etc. thing, means we are using living organism. It can be bacteria, it can be any other microbes. When we are using them for producing something which is of great importance for human health, जैसे अगर हम किसी बैक्टीरिया का इस्तेमाल करके इंसुलिन का प्रोडक्शन करें, if we are using bacteria for production of insulin, that will be called as a biologics. So then the question is, then what is biosimilar? Biosimilar is same thing. Biosimilar is also same thing, but slightly different. Okay. What we see that, but slightly different. How it is slightly different? Basically, let's say we have created insulin with the help of a bacteria. Once we create that, there is a award of patent. Here you will find that patent is provided. Here we see that a patent is provided for this purpose. And when the patent is over, what we do? We make biosimilars on the basis of biologics. When the patent is over, once the patent of the biologics is over, on the same basis, we are developing biosimilars. So here also we are using living organisms. But the key difference between biologics and biosimilar is in the patent. Now, can we call it a generic? The answer is no. It will not be called a generic, because generic is a chemical composition. Generic medicines and branded medicines, they are also working in almost same manner. For the branded medicine, there is a chemical composition. For generic medicine, there is a chemical composition. But in the case of biologics and biosimilars, although it is somewhat same, but since here there is involvement of living organisms, what we see that biologics are therapies, proteins, antibodies created from living organisms. They are given a patent of 20 years. Any company which is developing a biologics are going to get a patent for near about 20 years. Whereas on the other side, biosimilars, they are produced when the biologics patent is over. So after 20 years, for the same biologics, there can also be a biosimilar. Okay. So they are created after 20 years. It is same like the concept that there is a branded drug, and once the patent of the branded drug is over, we make generic medicine. But we don't call it a generic. We don't call it a generic. Why? Because it is not a chemical composition. It is like a product obtained from living organism. Yes. So it is the simplified form of this. Okay. When we are talking about this, see, for example, for cancer treatment, there is a biologic which is called as Herceptin. Here we have the trastuzumab. Okay. Now, a biosimilar for that is Canmab. Okay. So there is a biological innovator. This is something which has been innovated. Herceptin. The name is trastuzumab. Now, the same biosimilar for this is called as Canmab. There is a problem, rheumatoid arthritis. For this, the biologic is Humira or adalimumab. For this, we have various similar biosimilars, sorry, not biologics, biosimilars approved by CDSCO. So the patent is for 20 years. Once the patent is over for a biologic, we can create a biosimilar for the same thing. Is there any generic like thing in Ayurveda or homeopathy? No, homeopathy or Ayurveda, I'm not aware about any specific homeopathy thing, but in Ayurveda it cannot be there. Why? Because Ayurveda is based on the traditional knowledge. Ayurveda is something which is based on more of a traditional knowledge. So many of the things in Ayurveda are a traditional knowledge or those things which have already been documented. Okay. So that is why नहीं, ये आपको याद नहीं करना है, ये तो बस मैंने एग्जांपल के तौर पे बताया कि व्हाट इज बायोलॉजिक्स एंड व्हाट इज बायोसिमिलर. यू डोंट हैव टू मेमोराइज देम, सो डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. ओके, so this is one part, what is biologics and what is biosimilar. Okay. अब देखो एक और पार्ट को हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, दैट इज वीबीजी राम जी. नहीं, ये लिखनी नहीं है, ये समझने के लिए थी, ये समझने के लिए थी. यू डोंट हैव टू राइट द एग्जांपल देयर. इफ यू वांट यू कैन राइट इट, अदरवाइज यू कैन इग्नोर इट. ओके, so now we have another topic, VBG Ramji. So it has been given this 95,000 crore budget. So let's see this one thing. So this has been allotted a 95,000 crore under the union budget. Whereas for MG Narega, the budget has reduced from 86,000 crore to 30,000 crore. Now the question remains that do we will have two schemes? क्या इंडिया में दो स्कीम रहेगी? The answer is we don't have clarity about it right now. Whether this money is going to be used for clearing the pending dues or for running it in some states is something which is not clear. अभी तक इस चीज को लेकर क्लैरिटी नहीं है that whether it will be used in some states or not. There is this VBG Ramji Act now which has repealed the MG Narega. But the repealing has not been notified as of now. इसको अभी तक नोटिफाई नहीं किया गया है that MG Narega has been repealed. Government has shown its intent. Government ने इस intent को जरूर शो कर दिया है कि we are going to repeal MG Narega. But the repealment has not been notified yet. एंड यू मे बी अवेयर अबाउट इट कि जब तक नोटिफाई नहीं होता तब तक वो वैलिड नहीं होता. So the repealment of MG Narega has not been notified as of now. And in budget, you can see that government has given a 30,000 crore budget for MG Narega. But there is a lack of clarity about this in the present times, that whether this 30,000 crore is for this year or just for clearing the pending bills of the government. So it has not been made clear as of now. Okay. But this is the allotment. Now, if we talk about this VBG Ramji, okay, what we see that we have got 125 days of work. The fund sharing ratio is 60:40 for general states and 90:10 for northeastern Himalayan states and UT with legislature. States can also have a 60-day pause in work during peak farming season. It is also integrated with the National Master Plan for Special Efficiency. So now the works under this MG Narega are going to become part of PM Gati Shakti and other main missions of the government. It will be now an integrated program. It will not be running any longer in silos. Okay. So that is one thing. What we see, this act mandates biometric attendance, GPS tracking of work sites, and AI for fraud detection. So here it has been said that in MG Narega also these provisions were there, but they were not mandatory. Many a times it was avoided. But as part of the new one, as part of the VBG Ramji Act, now it has been announced that this will be mandatory now. Timely payment has also been announced. It has been said under the new act that the wages are to be disbursed weekly or within a fortnight. That within 14 days, the wages are to be disbursed as per the act. And social audits are required twice a year at the Gram Panchayat level. So social audit has also been made mandatory as part of this VBG Ramji Act. So these are some provisions. हम लोगों ने इसको पहले भी डिटेल में डिस्कस किया है, but just to remind you once again that now we are having a new scheme for Rojgar and Ajivika in rural areas. Okay. So this is for rural areas. It is under the Ministry of Rural Development. So they have got now a budget of 95,000 crore rupees for this new VBG Ramji. Okay. So that is one part. अब हम लोग बजट के कुछ की पहलूज को देखेंगे, कुछ की पार्ट्स को देखेंगे कि हाउ मच बजट हैज बीन गिवन फॉर डिफरेंट एरियाज. देखो आज के पेपर के हम लोग बस 5 आर्टिकल को कवर कर पाए हैं. देयर आर 10+ मोर आर्टिकल्स व्हिच वी विल ऐड सब्सिक्वेंटली ओवर द नेक्स्ट डेज. धीरे धीरे हम लोग उसको भी ऐड करते जाएंगे. नाउ व्हाट वी सी हियर, देयर आर सर्टेन पार्ट्स, द स्कीम्स व्हिच हैज गॉट मोस्ट अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इन सेंट्रली स्पॉन्सर्ड स्कीम. In centrally sponsored scheme, this is the list of centrally sponsored scheme जिसे सबसे ज्यादा पैसा मिला है. Why I am telling you this? If you have to prepare schemes for the prelims examination, the one which has to be given priority, जिसको priority देना है, top 5 को जरूर याद रखना. First number we have VBG Ramji. On the first part we have VBG Ramji. This is the scheme which you have to keep in mind. Second number, Jal Jeevan Mission. Second number is this Jal Jeevan Mission. This has got the second highest contribution. Third part is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. Third part is this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. Fourth part is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. And the fifth part is Samagra Shiksha. Samagra Shiksha. So at least these 5 schemes in centrally sponsored scheme, you have to make sure कम से कम ये 5 स्कीम तो आपको याद रखने ही है. They have got the highest level of money by the central government. ठीक है. हाँ, वर्क की गारंटी नहीं दी गई है. That is a criticism of it. Why government do it? That is something which we have debated in the past. गवर्नमेंट चाहती है कि लोग आत्मनिर्भर बने। सेकेंड पार्ट, इन द सेंट्रल सेक्टर स्कीम, in central sector scheme, if you look at this, when we are talking about the central sector scheme, here you will see this प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना, this has got the highest level of the budget. Second, like all others are not that much important, but remember this one thing, pradhan mantri garib kalyan ann yojana, that has got the maximum budget. तो 6 ऐसे स्कीम्स हैं जिसको आप जरूर याद कर लेना। 5 हेड्स, वीबीजी रामजी, जल जीवन मिशन, पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, समग्र शिक्षा योजना, एंड ऑफ कोर्स द सेकेंड वन, दैट इज प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना. दिस हैज द मैसिव बजट, दिस हैज द मैसिव बजट ऑफ 2,27,429 crore rupees. This is the biggest scheme. This is the biggest scheme, almost twice that of twice that of this, not just twice, you will find that it is almost 2.5 times or 2.4 times that of VVG Ramji. It is having a target, of this 2,27,429 crore rupees. तो सबसे बड़ा स्कीम यही है, पीएम गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. Now there are some other components. There are certain other components which you have to also see here. Some of the other charts which are there. So there is this one chart with respect to the defense expenditure. डिफेंस को लेकर है, ठीक है. देयर इज वन सच पार्ट विच इज रिलेटेड टू डिफेंस एक्सपेंडिचर. अब इसमें डिफेंस एक्सपेंडिचर में देखना कि देयर इज अ फोकस ऑफ इंक्रीज ऑफ डिफेंस एक्सपेंडिचर इन टर्म्स ऑफ कैपिटल. डिफेंस में पहले क्या होता था कि ज्यादातर पैसा जो है वो इन्वेस्ट होता था एज पार्ट ऑफ रेवेन्यू. रेवेन्यू मींस सैलरी देने में, पेंशन देने में. तो यू कैन सी दैट अर्लियर this entire focus, or you can see कि पहले लगभग 74.38% it was going in form of revenue and 25.62 it was going in form of capital expenditure. So now we see that there is a comparatively increase 26.83 and जो नया बजट है it is prescribing 29.44. It is prescribing 29.44 for capital expenditure. ठीक है. तो ये जो है वो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर के लिए इट इज प्रमोटिंग 29.44 मनी फॉर कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर. तो दिस इज अ पॉजिटिव साइड. डिफेंस वाले में आप ये बोल सकते हो कि नाउ वी हैव अ इंक्रीज्ड फोकस, वी हैव इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम नियर अबाउट 25.62 टू 29.44 अंडर दिस बजट. तो ये एक इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है कि आवर लाइक फोकस इज ऑन कैपिटल. Focus is on capital. It means more technology, more weapons, it will be there. दूसरी तरफ आप देखोगे, this is also for science tech, biotech and others. You can see that there is a gradual increase. आप देखोगे कि total जो money है, it has been increasing. For financial year 2026, the budget estimate is 21,000 crore. देखो एक बस यहां पे एक याद रखना कि इन 2020 में दिस वाज जस्ट एट 12,000 करोड़ अप्रोक्सीमेटली. इन 2026 दिस इज 21,000 करोड़. इन 2027 इट इज गोइंग टू बी 38,260 crore. So almost 3 times increase in the last 5 years. Government has increased the budget of science related activities from around 12,000 crore to around 38,000 crore in the last 5 years. तो गवर्नमेंट ने इस पे भी फोकस करना स्टार्ट किया है कि वी आर प्रमोटिंग मोर एंड मोर रिसर्च रिलेटेड एक्टिविटीज इन कंट्री. So from a budget of near about 12,000 crore in 2020 to a budget of near about 38,000 crore rupees in 2026-27. सॉरी 26-27, हाँ। तो दिस इज वन प्रपोजल। बाकी के जो पार्ट है उसको भी हम लोग फिर आने वाले सेशंस में देखेंगे कि व्हाट ऑल चेंजेस हैज बीन डन। तो स्पेस के बारे में भी आगे डिस्कस करेंगे, अबाउट अदर्स ऑल्सो, बट सिंस वी हैव लिमिटेड टाइम, so we are discussing only till here in the present session. In upcoming sessions, we will see more part of this budget, कि what has been done in various specific sectors, कि अलग अलग sectors में कहाँ change हुआ है। So in your science and technology notes, just add two part, कि what we are focusing in the defense sector, what we are doing in science and tech sector from the budget. आपका जहां भी science tech का notes है उसमें ये update कर लेना। Thank you everyone. Take care and let's meet tomorrow. Then we will discuss some more charts, some more parts of this budget and its impact on various sectors, various subjects which are relevant for our exam. Thank you everyone. Take care. All the best.